Welcome back to the Team to Beat Miami Heat podcast, your one-stop shop for daily Miami Heat content. My name is Amir. Before I get into today's episode, just want to thank everybody for their continued support of the channel. I'm pushing to 3,000 subscribers, so if you guys do enjoy Miami Heat content and NBA content, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It would mean a lot, so thank you again. So there's been more noise around the Jimmy Butler trade saga, and Brian Windhorst was talking about how there are multiple teams interested in facilitating a Jimmy Butler trade. He also talked about how last week on Thursday, Mickey Arison in the front office met with Jimmy Butler. And since that meeting, Jimmy Butler has played now 2 games. He played Friday against the Nuggets, and he played yesterday against the Spurs. Playing enough where he's not getting suspended, but you can tell Jimmy has no joy. He's not trying extremely hard. He's not being very aggressive, but he's doing the bare minimum and quiet quitting on his team, as you could see. And he said he has no animosity towards the players. It's the front office. He wants the money. I think it's still mainly the money. 90% is the money. 10% is not getting him enough help and building a better team around him, which I understand those complaints. Even though we tried a little bit, the front office failed him in that sense. That's my opinion. But either way, since that Thursday meeting, though, with Mickey Arison, there has been an uptick in conversations. The Miami Heat are doing more outbound calls. They're listening to more calls. More teams are willing to help facilitate trades. The Raptors, the Bucks, seem to be interested. Obviously, Jimmy only wants to go to the Suns, but we'll see if we can get a 3, 4, 5 team trade to facilitate that. But if not, I think we still have to trade him by the deadline, which gives us a few more weeks and get what we can essentially, and hopefully get some decent role players, maybe a first-round pick if we can. They want win-now players. We're being stingy and we're not being urgent yet because the trades that have been offered haven't been great, or what Pat wants or what Mickey wants, but they do prefer to trade Jimmy immediately, essentially. So it's a pickle, obviously, that the Miami Heat are in. But anyway, let's go to Windhorst, from ESPN to see his clips real quick, talking about the latest on the Jimmy Butler situation.
And by the way, since Jimmy had his meeting with Mickey Arison on Thursday, there is no doubt an uptick in discussions around Jimmy Butler. The Heat shifted into a new gear after that meeting. And by the way, since Jimmy...
So they've shifted into a new gear, apparently, and again, they want to make this happen. There was another report, like when Ramona Shelburne put out her article, there was an insider. I don't know if it was who it was specifically, if it was a coach, a player, if it was Mickey or Nick or Pat or whoever, but it was saying someone inside the Miami Heat leaked that they want him off the team ASAP. They want Jimmy Butler traded immediately. And Jimmy Butler has basically said his grievances and, talking about how he doesn't like his role in the offense, how if he's going to be a part of a big 3, that he would be the third wheel with the Suns, because at least he would be the third wheel behind Booker and Beal versus being the third wheel, as he stated, I guess, or how he feels with Tyler Hero and Bam, kind of taking over this new offensive scheme with Eric Spoelstra, and us focusing on us hitting more threes, which Tyler is an expert at, and Jimmy, you're not. I'm sorry. Obviously, you're still a better player than Tyler Hero. That's undoubtedly true, of course. But still, Tyler is playing way better than you this year, and he's 24 years old, 25 actually today. Happy birthday, Tyler. But yeah, we have to move into that direction because, again, you don't try as hard during the regular season. You have stated you're okay with not being the offensive focal point in the past, wanting to bring in a better scorer, having Tyler, Terry, other players take the load off, but then now you're complaining, which is the opposite, basically. So you always are a contrarian. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Obviously, there's been back and forth. Jimmy said that, the truth will come out, whatever that means. But it seems like the Miami Heat are trying, and it seems like a trade could happen sooner than later. And there's also one more clip that I want to play from Windhorst as well for you guys. 1 second. Let's share the screen one last time. Here we go.
And they go, hey, I even had a team on Friday call me and say, hey, this team is trying to dump some salary. And they go, hey, we were just talking with a couple of teams who were trying to dump a salary. And they all of a sudden had to end our phone calls to go do something bigger. They said, what's going on? And I go, well, I don't know, but I speculate that it has to do with Butler, and not just a direct Butler trade, but 3 and 4 team trades. The point is, I do think the Heat are actually trying. I even had a team.
Yep. So there you have it. Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat seem like this messy divorce could end soon. The Miami Heat are trying everything in their willpower, but they're the ones who might have to cave, which would suck if they want to get him traded before the deadline and take a trade back that they don't deem that is worthy. But either way, I mean, you have to take a step back. Less is more sometimes in situations like these. I think you might have to rip the Band-Aid off. We are never going to get fair, equal value whenever a superstar, star, all-star, whatever requests a trade. You're not going to get fair value back, at least immediately. You can get lucky like the Thunder did when they traded Paul George. Got a million picks, of course, and then they got Shea, who's turned into like an MVP caliber type player, but he only averaged 10 points per game his rookie season. So like that was very lucky that he turned into what he turned into. So maybe that can happen for the Miami Heat. Who the hell knows if they get some sort of young asset, young player on a friendly rookie contract, but they also want win now players. So who the hell knows what's going to happen. But anyway, that's all I have for this episode. Again, thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.